If you think Power Moves with ShaQuille Oneal is all about basketball, money, or the rebranding of Reebok, I need for you to think again. Shaq dropped so many gems that I picked up, and I want to share it with you from a licensed therapist perspective. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hey, welcome. But if you are a returning subscriber, you already know how my TV and movie show reviews go. Now, Power Moves with ShaQuille Oneal is a 6-part documentary that just dropped on Netflix. Each episode is about 30 minutes long, so you can binge watch it quickly. Even though a good chunk of this overall documentary is about the rebranding with Reebok with Shaq and AI, Allen Iverson, Shaq was dropping gem after gem, and I was like, ooh, this is good that I need to talk to the people about from a therapist perspective. So before we get started, put in the comment section, what did you think about the documentary? I'll give my personal thoughts on it towards the end of this video, so stick around for that too. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about that Shaq said was make them remember your name. Now, we all know that Shaq does not have a common name. And I don't know what it is with mothers, specifically mothers of color, Black mothers, who gives us, I'll say, unique names. Because also, what is a Keandra Jackson? But in regards to ShaQuille Oneal, he actually mentioned that he never really liked his name. But then when people started saying it, when he started winning all of the different games and all of this stuff during his basketball career, he grew to love it. And this was something that his mother told him all the time, make them remember your name. Everybody knows Shaq. And if you don't know ShaQuille Oneal, you know Shaq. And I believe that this was a full circle moment because Shaq's mom was telling him, make them remember your name. And at the same point, when Sharif, Shaq's son, was trying to go try out for the Kings to, also play ball and do all of these things, told him the same exact thing. He said, make them remember your name. So this kind of was like a generational saying. His mama told him, he told his son, and maybe Sharif will tell his children that one day as well. But whatever Shaq's mom saw in him for her to be able to tell him that years ago when he was still on his journey or early on his journey, Shaq has that very same keen eye to be able to see greatness in other people, other players, and other athletes too. The second thing that I want to talk to you guys about that Shaq said, he said, hire people smarter than you. Don't think you know everything. Listen, pride comes before a fall, so don't ever think that you know more than everybody in the room or that you're the smartest person in the room all of the time. In some instances, that may be true, but in a lot of instances, there are other people who do know a little bit more than you, and you need to pay attention and listen to them as well. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much fame and notoriety you have, Shaq said, I'm not about to be up here thinking I know everything. Let me listen to the people in the room and then we can all win together. Because one thing that Shaq knows how to do is to be a part of some brands. I don't think he owns any of these brands, but at least I know I've seen him on Papa John's commercials, the General, which is the auto insurance commercial. He's been on Icy Hot commercials. And now him and Allen Iverson are rebranding the whole Reebok brand. But this speaks to knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses. When you know your strengths and you're good at something, you can dominate and smash and tell people, hey, this is what it is, this is what it ain't. But when you have areas that are weaknesses, or I would like to say areas of improvement, you tend to be quiet a little bit and let other people navigate, let other people speak up, especially if that's their area of expertise. Because an example of this, remember, he talked about when he was in the meeting, Shaq admitted, look, I only care about the look of these shoes. I don't care about no technology. I don't care about how it make you feel on your feet. I just wanted to look bomb. But his team was also focused on the technology of the shoe, which I learned a lot too, because I'm not really a tennis shoe girl, but I learned a lot about how tennis shoes work just watching this documentary. And honestly, Shaq was outvoted. He was outvoted 5-1. Everybody else was like, yeah, we love this shoe. Engine A is it. Engine A. Yeah, Engine A is it. This is dope. This is fire. It's excellent. And Shaq was like, I don't really like that. Shaq would have tried to pull rank and say, hey, I'm the president of Reebok basketball now. Y'all got to listen to me, start from scratch. Then the shoes that eventually have already came out wouldn't have been as successful as it really could have been because he didn't listen to the people who knew all about shoes, technology, how it's built, colors, who have studied this and who have been doing this for decades. Remember, Reebok isn't just some new brand. It's been around for years and years. The third thing that Shaq said was, in business, you can never get emotional. And as I saw throughout this whole documentary, I saw that there was a number of times where he could have gotten emotional. When everybody on his team liked Engine A shoes but him and got outvoted, he could have got emotional. When Sharif wanted to quit working with him at Reebok to go and pursue his own basketball career with the Kings, he could have got emotional. If I'm being honest, I think I would have got emotional on that part, because what Shaq was trying to do is help his son build a business legacy for their family. He wanted to teach Sharif how to manage business, to learn the process. So if something ever goes down and he's not able to fall back on basketball, at least he has another skill set that he can learn to be successful. And of course, Shaq ain't gonna be here forever. So he wants his son to take over the family business and the family legacy and to create that generational wealth. So I get it, Sharif, you wanted to pursue your dreams and you should. But also too, that was a hard decision on letting Reebok go and pursue your basketball career. But also, Shaq could have absolutely got emotional when all of the athletes and the players that he wanted to sign on Reebok told him no, or came back with a counter offer that was way outside of their budget. Or all of the time and energy and phone calls and all of the things that he invested in to try to get a player into Reebok and they went a different direction, he could have got emotional. The lesson here is if you allow emotions to get the best of you, you just become reactive, and that's not going to be helpful overall in regards to your goal. So he had to, be like Aaliyah, dust himself off and try again. And then he wind up signing some really, really dope players onto Reebok, and he's going to give them all their own individual shoe, and it's going to hopefully be a success within the next few years. Let's be real. They said Reebok was what, number 3? I think it was like Nike, Adidas, and then Reebok. I mean, Reebok gotta come up in the ranks a little bit, right? And I think having AI and Shaq be the forerunners of this, because they were absolutely what Reebok was all about back in the day, I think it can be done. The fourth thing that Shaq said that I want to talk to you guys about is, I don't like the moniker of giving back. I'm just doing what my mother and my father taught me to do. I think this was really dope and amazing, because when you come from good stock, when you come from good people, when you come from a good home environment, those things stick with you. They stay with you forever. Obviously, and hopefully he's teaching his children those same principles, and then their children can be taught that as well, and it keeps going on. And for this one, I think you really find out who you are when fame hits, when notoriety hits, when money hits, when influence hits. Because are you gonna stick to your core values, your foundation, your principle, all of the things that your parents taught you? Or are you gonna let all them things go and just do whatever you wanna do to make more money, to have more fame and more influence? So it's kind of like you have to make the decision of whether you're going to be selfish and hoard all of the money and the blessings that God has given you, or are you going to give to others and give back? And we've seen Shaq do that time and time again when he brought the boys and girls from the Boys and Girls Club to the Reebok studio and gave them all shoes for free. I'm sure this isn't just the only example of Shaq giving back, but I'm pretty certain he does a lot of giving in other areas of his life as well. These are moments that these kids will never forget. And the fifth gem that Shaq dropped, he said, I don't want you to have to give up everything. I missed out on a lot, and that caused me to lose my family. Now, he said this when he was having a conversation with his son, Sharif, in regards to whether he wanted to still rock with Reebok and still work there, or if he wanted to pursue his basketball career. And I think that was a really powerful father-son moment, because essentially he was telling his son, you need to count the cost. Just because something seems super duper dope on the outside, there's a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of things that you are not going to have, that you're not going to be a part of, that you're going to miss out on if you say yes to this and no to this. If I'm being honest, I heard a lot of regret in Shaq's voice. I don't think that he would redo everything all over from scratch, but I absolutely feel like he had some regrets about his basketball career, how he wasn't there as a parent, how he missed a lot of holidays, missed a lot of birthdays, missed a lot of school plays, and all of those things because he was killing it in basketball at the time. I'm just glad that he was able to share that experience with his son, right? Because oftentimes parents have experiences, they keep it to themselves, they don't say anything, and then when your kid takes off-beaten path, you're like, see, you should have done this and you should have done that. No, let me share my experiences with you, and then you can choose your own path. I know Shaq does not prefer Shareef to play basketball. He's like, we don't need another basketball player. We don't need nobody being compared. We don't want anybody comparing you to me, right? But he has to do his own thing. Can you imagine if Shareef never really followed through with his own desire to be in basketball and to pursue basketball? He would probably have regrets. He would probably have resentment to himself and to his dad, right? And so you have to let your children go on their path and find their way, their own way. So my final thoughts on this was, I love this little documentary, right? I'm not a basketball head. I am not a sports kind of girly. I'm not a tennis shoe kind of girly. But when I seen this, I know that Shaq does not play when it comes to business. And so I love watching how he moves and how he navigates when it comes to business things, because there's always gems and nuggets that I'm picking up from him just watching him on this journey. I really wish they would have shared a little bit more about Allen Iverson. I have not seen AI since back in the day. I mean, obviously he's probably been around doing things, but I would have loved to learn more about him, his story, maybe his family, maybe his children, what he's really been up to. I understand that he has a lifetime partnership with Reebok. I get that. And he was an integral part of, making Reebok soar in the past. But I really would have liked to have learned a little bit more about him and his journey as well. So yeah, if you have not watched this, I think that you absolutely should. I don't know if there's going to be a second season. It's a documentary that I feel like will evolve over time because we're going to see how Reebok does, right? So we're going to see if Shaq and AI took this brand to the top or at least number 2, or if it flopped, and hopefully it succeeds. So thank you for watching another video on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, watch some other TV and movie show reviews that I have here, and I will see you next time. Be blessed. Bye.